Hey guys, what's up? Welcome back to the channel. In today's video, just like always, we're going to discuss and analyze some of the challenging situations that happen to workers around the world in the construction, forestry, mining industry. You'll see how people handle problems on some of the toughest jobs out there with heavy equipment. We'll also share a few interesting moments from our own mine, like you're used to by now. But overall, our main focus today is heavy equipment fails. Watch closely so you don't end up making the same mistakes these poor guys did. Oh yeah, almost forgot. Do us a favor and hit that like button and subscribe to our channel for more awesome videos like this. And now, let's get straight to the action. Alright, as you've already seen, this Kamaz loaded with logs most likely lost traction because of ice on the road, started sliding backward, and went off the road. The driver was lucky the truck didn't tip over on its side. In the meantime, they brought in a small Soviet-era DT-75 dozer to help. Judging by what we're watching right now, it doesn't look like it has much of a chance pulling out a fully loaded truck like this. Anyway, let's see if they can get the job done. Looks like it's just too big of a bite for this little fella. After several failed tries to pull it out, they finally gave up and switched to Plan B, which honestly makes a lot more sense. Plan B is to unload some of the timber onto the road to lighten the truck. But first, they need to secure it, since it's leaning to one side. So they hook it up to the dozer to keep it from tipping. Never walk near a fully tensioned cable. That stuff is extremely dangerous. It takes a split second for it to snap, and when it does, the consequences are brutal. But this part right here, man, you've got to see this. Bro just shoved the whole cylinder straight into the mud. He was like, screw the outrigger pads. The mighty DT-75's got us covered on the other side. Let's just get the job done and get the hell out of here. All right, so far so good. We can see he unloaded the right side, the one that was stuck in the mud, which is good, a smart move. Plus, he's holding the remaining logs in the grapple, which is also good because it works like a counterweight. By shifting the weight to the left side, he's improving traction on the icy road. Now let's see if our little fella has some luck this time. Looks like Plan B actually worked. Now the dozer just needs to go back for the remaining logs, drag them over to the truck, and let the guy load them back onto the trailer. Well, this is a perfect example of how a tough and demanding job can go very smooth when everything is organized the right way. However, there were still a few mistakes in the organization. For example, the driver should never have walked past the tension cable. And another big one, he definitely shouldn't have dropped the outrigger cylinder without a pad underneath. He could have easily tipped the whole truck over. All in all, solid job. But now, let's see how others handle tough challenges. All right, what do we have here? The truck tipped over, and a front-end loader is coming in to help. A pretty typical situation you see all the time in the construction industry. But what you're about to see is something that also happens way too often during recovery jobs. Something that can turn a simple recovery into a total disaster. You'll see exactly what I mean in a second. That's right, a lot of people forget to properly secure or hook the truck to something, and the moment it's back on its wheels, if the ground isn't level, it'll just start rolling, just like in this footage. Luckily, the loader operator was quick enough and saved the truck from an even bigger disaster. And since we're already talking about disasters, the guy you're about to see next has a real disaster going on inside his head. I mean, how low does your IQ have to be to try passing over a solid line while two trucks are coming straight at you side by side? And even with all that in front of him, he still went for it. Geniuses like this should have their license taken away for good. Another genius who needs to have his license taken away for good. This guy lost his rear axle probably because he hit some nasty bump at high speed. This happened in Ardahan, Turkey. A tractor broke through the frozen surface of Çıldır Gölü Lake after the driver misjudged whether the ice was thick enough to support the machine. As temperatures continued to rise, the ice had already started weakening, and like it usually goes in situations like this, it finally gave out. The tractor crashed straight through and sank into the freezing water. The driver managed to climb out unharmed. Luckily, he escaped without injuries. But throughout the day, a major recovery operation was organized to pull the submerged machine back out. To recover the tractor, a joint operation was carried out by AFAD, or Turkey's Disaster and Emergency Management Authority, along with local authorities. An excavator was used to break through the ice to reach the sunken tractor. After securing it with heavy cables, crews slowly pulled the machine back out of the water. At one point, the excavator went so deep into the water that people standing around thought it was about to go under too. For a second, it looked like we were about to have two machines to recover, but the operator, clearly experienced. He knew exactly what he was doing and exactly how far he could push it. All in all, it was a well-organized, well-executed recovery operation, and they pulled it off with zero damage. All right, from snowy Turkey, we're heading straight to snowy Serbia. More specifically, to our mine. Right now, we're standing in the section where the excavators are parked up. These machines are about to be fully repaired and prepped for some new adventures. Soon, we'll be moving them over to the eastern part of the mine, where overburden stripping is planned, and a whole new chapter in the push for ore is about to begin. Right in front of me is a 13-year-old Bucyrus RH120, formerly known as O&K, a real workhorse. Right next to it is the Liebherr R9300, one serious white giant. Even though it ranks among the smaller excavators on Liebherr's scale, it looks absolutely huge when you're standing next to it. And over there, you've got two Komatsu PC4000 and 3000, ready for repair as soon as the weather settles down a bit and the snow finally stops falling. First, we'll take a look at these two white giants, and after that, we'll move over to the yellow ones. All right, let's go for a quick walk around. This was truly amazing. You don't see this many excavators at one spot very often. They really do look massive, but just wait till you see the real giant. What you just saw is going to look tiny compared to this excavator. That's right, the P&H 4100X PC electric rope shovel, one of the biggest diggers on the planet, with a payload capacity of around 3,277,000 pounds, or roughly 1,500 tons. What you're looking at right now is the entire undercarriage being pulled out for repair, more specifically, the drive sprocket. And to do that, they're using a fully loaded Komatsu 930E haul truck. Can you imagine that? The crew needed a 520-ton truck just to drag out an undercarriage that weighs around 400 tons. That's wild, man. All right, moving on. Right now we're on these winding mountain roads. The goal is simple. Get this Cat rotary blast hole drill rig transported by truck through these sharp corners as safely as possible. The main challenges? A steep uphill climb, sharp corners, a wet road surface, and a load that's seriously heavy. Let's see how this plays out. A well-known situation. This happens a lot. The driver turns the steering wheel to the left, but the truck just keeps going straight. It happens because of the massive weight of the load concentrated on the trailer. With that much weight pushing from behind, the front axle of the truck can get slightly lifted, and the front tires lose traction on the ground. And when that happens, the trailer literally starts pushing the truck forward instead of the truck pulling the trailer. That's heavy haul physics right there.
Biraz geri lazımlık etsin.
I think the left side of the trailer dropped into the snow and mud. Nope, not a chance. I don't think he's getting out of that without help from another machine. The load is just way too heavy. It's a shame we don't have the full footage to see how it ended. Cab view, XCMG haul truck. Now, you're about to see what it's really like driving downhill on a wet, muddy road from the driver's perspective. Buckle up, because this is about to be one awesome ride. Now, this is interesting. A guy's driving a pickup on a snowy, icy road, and this happens. Just listen to the driver, and tell me, who's at fault?
Dude! Are you fucking kidding me? Are you fucking kidding me?
Yeah, I'm good. Just fucking dumbasses. Yeah, I'm good. I appreciate it.
Now the driver is furious, and honestly, he's got a point. If he hadn't dropped the plow, he probably would have slammed into the car that pulled out in front of him. But doing almost 50 miles per hour on a frozen, snow-covered road, that's a bit too much. And I think that they're both responsible here. Now this is one of the reasons why sometimes you should not fasten your seatbelt. If the operator had been fully strapped in, he probably would have smashed his head on that tree stump sticking way up out of the ground. Another advantage of not wearing a seatbelt is that when an operator is working next to water, or even on it, and the machine starts to sink, he has just enough time to react and bail out of the cab before it's too late. This is the new Circle Drive motor. Inside, it's got brand new bearings, gears, and everything that goes with it. Now you're about to see what the old one looked like. Yeah, what you're looking at right there are metal shavings from the old gear. And in just a moment, you'll see exactly what that old gear wheel looked like. And here's what the old one looks like. Completely worn out. No wonder the Circle Drive kept slipping whenever I hit a little more resistance while grading. The mold board even jammed into the tire a few times. I could have easily punctured a tire like that. Now tell me, how do you even go from this to this? All right, let's rewind the footage and see what really happened. Well, the situation is crystal clear. The excavator was working on the edge of what looks like a pond, a small lake or something, and it seems like the right side of the machine slipped into the water, and then that old rule kicked in. The more you try to get out, the deeper you sink. That's exactly what happened to this guy. He gave it everything he had, trying to push himself out using the boom, but the more he fought it, the deeper the machine went into the water. The critical mistake came when he swung the machine, which ended up submerging the engine, the pumps, and everything he needed for even a small chance of getting out. Once that happened, the engine shut down. At that point, there's nothing left to do but wait for a recovery team to show up and pull him out of there. How this front end loader ended up flipped over like that, I honestly have no idea. If anyone's got a clue, drop it down below. Anyway, let's take a look at the recovery process. It looks like the operator bailed out of the cab just in time. Otherwise, judging by how that cab looks, he could have been seriously hurt. For a moment, everything looked completely normal. And then it looks like the grader lost traction, almost like it just shut itself down. The operator bailed out of the cab in time. And once again, we're back to what I mentioned earlier in the video, that this is another advantage of not wearing a seatbelt. Now this right here, I mean, geez, hats off, buddy, way to go. I'm a grader operator myself, and yeah, I've punctured a tire before. It happens. But man, out of 6 tires, this guy managed to take out 3. That's next level. That's wild. He actually managed to climb all the way up to here. He's only got a few more meters left. Hang in there, buddy. You got this. Judging by the police presence, the officials on site, and the police tape, I'd say something serious already went down here. It looks like there may have been some kind of unexploded device still hidden in the debris. Luckily, the operator walked away without injuries after the explosion. This guy was seriously lucky. He lost traction, slid out, and smashed straight through the bridge railing. Luckily, the loader somehow got stuck right there, and that's probably what prevented this from turning into a tragic disaster. Yeah, I got myself stuck in some real deep shit. I tried everything to pull myself out, but there was no freaking chance. I probably hit a steering sensor or something, and now I've got a steering fault warning popping up. Super annoying. You can hear it yourself. In the meantime, a Volvo excavator is on the way to pull me out. So let's see how this goes. And just like that, he pulled me out of that mess like it was nothing. Big thanks to my buddy in the excavator. Legend says the guy who cut that pipe still hasn't landed yet. Nah, I'm just kidding. He managed to jump out of the way right away. But for nobody to notice that kind of pressure in the pipe, that's a serious oversight by the contractor. I've seen clips where a guy literally gets sucked into a pipe because of the flow and extreme pressure inside. That kind of force is no joke. And what's about to happen now is an absolute joke. He literally managed to trip over himself. And to wrap it up, something genius. This is how crews deal with snow on the runways at O'Hare Airport in Chicago, United States. A truck pulls a specially equipped trailer fitted with powerful heaters that instantly melt the snow into water. And that water is drained away right on the spot. Smart way to save both time and money. Well guys, that's it for today. If you enjoyed the video, hit that like button and smash the notification bell. Until the next one, stay safe out there.